Can you hear the curse of death as a dying rainbow confronts the black cloud ahead? The whistle of the wind defines the moment instead as death begins swallowing up the dead. Break for the hills and run to the valleys. Climb the mountain that will kill your suffering breath. Remember when life was good in your youth before your bones began to fail with all the abuse. Time has halted. Your muscles have revolted. The mind shuts down while your memories defaulted. You, my friend, are at an end. For the rainbow you see is only pretend. Never stop spitting. Again, we bleed, we need, we agreed to this greed. We dine, we drink, we stand alone and stare. We romance, we chance, we fantasize of death. Because in the end, we are just a single breath. Rotten apples with wasps feasting. Brown bananas with flies retreating. A fox in the night is ripping black bin bags open. And cats are eating a chicken casket after Sunday dinner. A white owl is gobbling a slaughtered mouse. Happy sitting on the evening fence. The rat is running for the bushes after stealing bread. A giant cow, a jawbone, is found in the dirty ground. The tired young man died on the motorway bridge and was found. Zombie humans are eating out of plastic bins. Death is everywhere. Take a look outside, inside. Don't be ignorant about what you find. He gazes, hides from reality. Her gaze hides from reality because she is there, but her soul was not. She has the ability to look straight through beings while defining the sense of seeing as she keys her energy into this moment of bleeding. She gazed upon reality as the world watched. She was there, but she couldn't touch. You meet them, you see them, you ponder on their dreams because so few have the ability of a gaze that breaks existence for all that it's got. The blood of men filled the lands for they stood and bleed for honor and respect. They held the flags, they died in the grass so few could shed a tear at last. A woman laughed in the face of the night, for it scared her to remember a young son's fate with age. She awaited with his gentle face. As for the witches who looked after her final days, she cursed them with swear words of a bitter taste. Away, look into your dreams beyond where the clouds from a memory form a memory of your screams. Look into your fragile mind. Does it deliver you into this decay in time? Keep painting the pictures of your brain, turning outside in. Are you ready for reality to fall in? I don't think so. The dark is already in. Her savage tears broke God kings into primitive beings with eyes that tore down worlds, making the essence of beauty for the universal code. As a divine command, the galaxies into twirls. Mortals can't see beyond their dream world, a place built as a prison to feed the urge of death's disposition. She cursed me with her sins. She hurt me with her promises that could never begin. As the darkness comes settling in, the demons begin to speak again. The demons go on and on and on and on and on. The demons go on and on and on. She was left to rot alone, her skin turning cold, emotions unfold, crying for someone to hold. Love has been cruel to her over and over again, wishing she could disappear since there is no cure for her heartbreak. She can't hide, wishing she could find someone who isn't fake. So much she can take before she falls to the ground, tired of the hate. She makes her final sound. My dear grandma has passed away on this very sad day. I wish she could have stayed and she never had to fade away. Feeling like a ghost no one seems to notice, and the lost and found, fallen in the darkness without a voice forever. I fear my demise. The dark mist keeps her calm when the storm takes form. She surrounds herself with shades of gray until the rain washes away all the misery she was within. Soon the world will come to an end. I can feel it within. I know I can't pretend that it is not happening. War going on in multiple places. Too many humans not accepting new faces. The world is going through too many changes, signs of revelations showing up in stages. You may call me a conspiracy theorist, but there's nothing we can do to stop this because star eventually turns to dust, and ours is about to bust. Asking if I am in the wrong for picking up drugs. Another addiction song swept under the rug of falling off the edge. I'm trying to hang on, but I got nothing left. Hard to stay strong, feeling hopeless, needing an escape. Tired of feeling worthless, asking if this is my fate. Another pill I take, another shot I drink, another pipe I smoke, another line I break. When I look into the mirror, I see only a skeleton looking back at me in fear, a craving for more adrenaline, disconnected from reality, my spirit trying to lift out of me, wishing this all was fantasy. As I fall to my knees, I pray to be saved from this life I live. Take away my pain so I can finally breathe. This year was 2020. I was in my kitchen looking out the window. You no longer looked friendly as you walked towards my door. You did not move like you used to before. And when you started to speak, you were not making any sense, telling me the basement had a leak, knowing it was from my washer that overflowed. You did not freak like you would have before. That's when I knew I was in despair, because a month ago you would have cared. That's when my mind started to spiral out of control. I realized you were acting suspicious as days went by. The truth started to unfold. The more and more you became malicious when I went to sleep. I had dreams of your intentions. I knew I was being warned. I was not mistaken. The next day, the dream started to come true. I seen you with your crew. You were sitting together. You were sitting together at my table outside, laughing and acting like your plan was through. That's when I had to decide to leave or let it happen in my mind. It all still didn't make sense why you were making these plans. Away goes the day. Only God knows why I cry as the darkness comes settling in. The demons go on. The demons go on. There are cemeteries that are lonely, the heart moving through a tunnel, and at darkness, darkness, like a shipwreck. We die going into ourselves as though we were drowning inside our hearts, as though we live fallen out of the skin into the soul. Time could carry our weight if only we could paint a dice to wait on the windowsill, wait for a guest, wait for a moment of your pride or patience, and let it be dusty or capped. Love is like the wild rose briar, friendship like the holy tree. The holy is dark when the rose briar blooms, but which will bloom most constantly. The wild rose briar is sweet in the spring as summer blossoms scent the air, and yet wait till winter comes again. And who will call the wild briar fair, then scorn the silly rose wreath now, and deck thee with the holly sheen, that when December blight spy brow, he may still leave thy garland green as darkness comes settling in. The demons go on. Demons go on troubled nights, when dreams close in, obscure visions arise from a heated mind, haunted by horrors and ensnared in guilt, a prisoner to a memory I can't leave behind. I wade through the mist, the haze and shade, treading on holy grounds that bury the dead beneath wilted cross, but departed souls lay words of comfort over their tombstones. tombstones read, the hour is strange. It is neither night nor day. The grass is withered, the branches are bare. Piercing the silence of the land of the dead, bitter winds howled and moaned in despair. The unhappy angels who watch over the dead with downcast eyes, hands joined in prayer, a dismay, a gloom. Each roads, each melancholic face as they loom over graves in an oblivious stare. Beware, unfathomable whispers spoke in strange tongues etched on cold stones. Read words of an old room and a rising crescendo. Murmurs echoed all around from the graves of men who were gone too soon. Desolate and forsaken, the dead soon grow old. The graves lay forgotten, rain befalls the stones. And when death takes each life, there only remains charmed dust and ashes, no flesh or blood or bones. Half conscious, half awake, I look for a grave, for a walled coffin where sweet lilians slept. No roses bloomed, wild grass grew all around. In torment and in grief I prayed and wept. Drenched in remorse, could I have done more? Did I kill Lillian through pain and neglect? When I learned of my guilt, it was a little too late. She took her own life, her soul. I was wrecked under the old oak. A broken and empty grave lay, her spirit so wild, free from the ironclad chains, for no earthly force can restrain a wrongful death. Though dead and gone, her wandering soul reigns under the darkened sun. I saw a lone figure in white treading and stealthy steps. She came to a sudden halt. The tide below was rising. Waves crashed on the rocks. The white sea grew fierce. Strong gusts smelled of salt. With outstretched arms, I howled and wept and wailed, and with remorse and fear, I stood drenched in sweat and anxious steps toward the veiled figure I went, for deep down I knew the worst was not yet over. Stumbling upon every rock and gravel on the way, staggering on and falling and grasping for my breath, I told her I loved her. I begged her to live, to stay. Away goes today as darkness comes settling in. The demons go on. Demons go on. A limb has fallen from the family tree. I keep hearing a voice that says, grieve not for me. Remember the best times, the laughter, the song, the good life I lived while I was strong. Continue my heritage, I'm counting on you. Keep smiling and surely the sun will shine through. My mind is at ease, my soul is at rest. Remembering all, how I truly was blessed. Continue traditions, no matter how small. Go on with your life, don't worry about falls. I miss you all dearly, so keep up your chin until the day comes we're together again. When you come to the end of a perfect day and you sit alone with your thought while the chimes ring out with a carol gray for the joy that the day has brought. Do you think what the end of a perfect day can mend to a tired heart when the sun goes down with a flaming ray and the dear friends have to part? Well, this is the end of a perfect day, near the end of a journey too, but it leaves a thought that is big and strong with a wish that is kind and true. For memory has painted this perfect day with colors that never fade, and we find at the end of a perfect day the soul of a friend we've made. As darkness comes settling in, the demons go, I'd like the memory of me to be a happy one. I'd like to leave an afterglow of smiles when life is done. And if I go while you're still here, know that I live on, vibrating to a different measure behind a thin veil you cannot see through. You will not see me, so you must have faith. I wait for the time when we can soar together again, both aware of each other. Until then, live your life to the fullest. And when you need me, just whisper my name in your heart. I will be there. Because I could not stop for death, he kindly stopped for me. Indeed, you can shed tears that that I have gone, or you can smile because I have lived. You can close your eyes and pray that I'll come back, or you can open your eyes and see that all has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see me, or you can be full of love because of the love that you shared. If all the music has died and music makers ceased, I think you'd stand and sing a hymn of hope and peace. If nights of doubts and fears against the light were hurled, I think you would light a candle, a razzle-dazzle, as darkness comes settling in. Demons go, from the creases of my skin shines my demon trapped within. It carries sorrow, heartbreak, laughter. It carries most my mortal sin. He broke his heart along with mine. She stole my faith, my hope, my mind. I needed someone who could wait for me, and this lack of strength crossed the line. Rhyme and rhyme, rhyme, rhyme. Rhyme. And no more do the stars brightly glimmer. Happiness in my life I will no more allow. No more do do streams under moonlight glitter. No more to me does the wide sea shimmer. To me the sun itself is dimmer, for all is dark to me now, since the day of life flew out of thee. Only weeks after we had made our view, our vow, all thoughts of life deserted me. Life itself lost all meaning to me. A beautiful place in Osaka was surrounded by sorrow, either bless or curse. This blind two young lovers, the sun was setting off, the day grew darker, colder, and demons go, none, all day and all night, as darkness comes settling in. The demons begin to speak again, softly as brown-eyed angels rove. I will return to my cove, and glide upon the night to thee, tread in the shadows silently, and I will give to thee my own kisses as icy as the moon, and the caresses of a snake, cold gliding in the thorny brake. And when returns the livid morn, thou shalt find all my place forlorn and chilly till the fallen night. Others would rule by tenderness over by life and youthfulness, but I would conquer thee by fright. Demons go, none. Like truthless dreams, so are my joys expired, and past return are all my dandled days. My love misled, and fancy quite retired of all which past, with sorrow only stays. My lost delights now clean from sight of land have left me all alone in my unknown ways. A day as darkness comes settling in, the demons begin to speak again, speaking inside of my head. They never stop, I said. She walks in beauty, like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright. The meet in her aspect, in her eyes, thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace which waves in every raven tress, or softly lightens o'er her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express pure how dear her dwelling place, and on that cheek and o'er that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smiles that when the tint that glows but tell of days and goodness spent, a mind of peace, at peace with all bellow, a heart whose love is innocent, a bright star. Would I were steadfast as thou art, and not in lone splendor hung aloft at the night, and watching with eternal lids apart, like nature's patient, sleepless eremite, the moving waters at their priest-like task appear ablution around earth's human shores, or gazing on the new soft fallen mask of snow upon the mountains and the moors. No, and yet still steadfast, still unchangeable, pillowed upon my fair love's ripening breast, to feel forever its soft fall and swell, awake forever in a sweet unrest, still to hear her tender taken breath, and so live ever, or else swoon to death. boatman calls from the lake. Alone, a loon dives upon the water. I put my hand over hers. Down in the lime tree arbor, the wind in the trees is whispering low that I love her. She puts her hand over mine, and down in the lime tree arbor, go through every breath that I breathe, in every place I go. There is a hand that protects me, and I do love her so. Always be suffering. It flows life like water. I put my hand over hers. Down in the lime tree arbor, the boatman he has gone, and the loons have flown for cover. She puts her hand over mine. Down in the lime tree arbor, through every word that I speak and everything I know, there is a hand that protects me, and I do love her so.